There's this movie that came out back in the 2000s entitled Kingdom of Heaven, and boy, was it atrocious. In a nutshell, it's a movie about the 12th century Crusades, where Saladin and the Ayyubids were involved. And the writing of the movie is firmly, fanatically in the Islamist camp when it comes to its takes on the Christian Crusaders and their motivations. That's pretty odd, given how it came out during the Bush Jr. years, when hysteria about Islamic expansionism and advancement into the West was all over the place, and when anti-Muslim sentiment was widespread and has been heightening in the West ever since. But hey, it's Hollywood. It always wants to be progressive. But yeah, Gen Z kids were too young or not even alive yet to remember the vibe that was going on through this continent, but they've been experiencing an escalated version of that time. The plot and portrayal of the Christian Crusaders alone are a history whiz's worst nightmare. Extremely dumbed down and fictionalized, to put it mildly. This film regurgitates common misconceptions and one-sided stories about this historical event. To make a long story short, like Europe being a repressed, poverty-stricken, and bleak hellhole before the Crusades started, whereas the Oriental lands under Islam were an advanced paragon, state-of-the-art, and a bastion for the sciences and humanities, and progressive. That's no longer true by the year 1184, approximately the late 12th century, which the movie is set in. The team behind the movie was completely ignorant of the fact of the 12th century Renaissance, where the standard of living and level of freedom in Europe was equal to that of the abode of Islam by that point. There's also no mention or showing of all of the horrible atrocities that the Muslim conquerors, committed against Middle Eastern Christians, and also against Iranics, Arabs, etc., who followed a type of Islam that they didn't like, or against Zoroastrians. Another one-sided dumbed down take is the Christians being bloodthirsty, greedy, genocidal maniacs who killed every Muslim that they saw, whereas the Muslims themselves were completely innocent of any and all atrocities and oppression beforehand, and did absolutely nothing that caused the Crusaders to behave the way that they did during the invasions and the fighting. Avoid this fecal matter like the plague and disregard everything it tells you and shows you if you want to learn about the Crusades through movies. If you want in-depth takes on how and why this movie is woefully bad, check out History Buff's video on it. This is an excellent channel that I recommend. He dissects every preposterous point that this shitty movie makes. The link is in the description box below. And this is where I end my dissertation. Thank you for watching.